everybody is doing systems level change and deeply rooted in their leadership that the existing models don't work. So a new world is on its way, one that's much more equitable.
I can't imagine another place in the world where I can meet so many amazing women, talented, smart, empowered, and dedicated to what they love to do, which is working on the world's to-do list.
My life's work is supporting and uplifting other women, and it is so nice to be a part of an organization and surrounded by women who feel the same.
You know, putting your time, energy, and thoughts into your business really to try to make a difference. And sometimes you think people don't really hear you. So I thank you, SheEO, for hearing us and seeing us.
It is because of this community that Iskwew Air is going to survive through this pandemic and go on to thrive.
SheEO and Lyft have raised the bar on the type of spaces I accept and choose to step into as an Indigenous woman.
So a friend of mine always says, support is a verb. And I just want to remind you all that your support is truly going to be foundational in helping us to create the next generation of Black doers, thinkers, and achievers.
SheEO for me is a way of being. We resonate with being generous to each other. This is a community that has changed my life just because I find people that, that's what SheEO is. Yes!
Everyone, happy International Women's Day. How are you feeling? I hope you are as excited as I am. I am truly honored to be celebrating with all of you for the 2021 SheEO Summit. Welcome one and all. It is a fantastic day, not only because it's International Women's Day, but you are joining us and you are in great company. First of all, I want to recognize all of you today for one big reason. This year has proven how resilient, strong, and capable all of you are. So if I could insert virtual confetti right now, throw it all over the place, just imagine I am celebrating all of you right now. Big round of applause. Let us see in the chat box how excited you are to be with us today. If it is the first time you're connecting with me, my name is Jam Gamble. I'm the founder and CEO of the Save the Mic program, and I am a SheEO activator, and I go by the pronouns she and her. And I'm so, I know I already said it, but so excited to be back once again because I love the work that SheEO is doing to empower, celebrate, and encourage women to start their business journeys today, right now. So are you ready for a good day? Let us begin. So I want to let you know that this event is fully accessible. It is being live captioned by Otter AI, so high five to accessibility. And Renee is going to drop in the link in the chat. So if you do need to access the live caption feature, just click on the link that's going to be available for you. And you could be using it as well in the breakout sessions. The SheEO Summit is also being visually recorded live by an incredible artist by the name of Laura Hannick of Swoop Media. And check out the link as well in the chat box if you like to watch the live creation. So lots of cool features for us to feel like we're actually in person, right? So thank you for all those accessible features, and be sure to click on the link so that you have those features readily available. So we are going to now get right into our presentation to let you know what is in store today. So we have 4 tracks that we need you to focus on. Today primarily is going to be our venture and finance tracks, and then tomorrow is going to be about systems and mindsets. Each session is 2 hours long, and at the end of each session, there's going to be 30 minutes where you get to network, okay? So you have the opportunity to go into a pair, one-on-one pairs, and you're going to have 6-minute rotation. So please utilize that time, network, make some new connections, especially with everything that's going on right now, and we're not able to meet in person. This is a great way to meet some new connections, so be sure to use that feature. To see the full program details, we encourage you to check out the Summit app. Now, this is not an app that you can find in the App Store. You do need to type it into your URL, and you will be able to use this feature so that you can see what the sessions are about and the breakout groups, so you're able to decide. You can meet the speakers, and you can connect with attendees. Can I just let you know how many people are joining us today? There are 2,000 plus people in this event over the course of the next 2 days. So connect with everyone, learn about the speakers, and check out the breakout sessions. Also, over the next 2 days, we invite you to live out loud and share your experience on social media. So for International Women's Day, let's amplify the stories of women working on the world's to-do list. Use the hashtag IWD2021 and be sure to tag, and if you're not already, following at SheEO. A big thank you to our partners for making the summit possible. Government of Canada, RBC, who has so many activators and team members joining us today. Hello to you all. Go RBC. The Women's Entrepreneurship Knowledge Hub, who's doing incredible work across the country. Shopify, our most fabulous impact partner. Venue, the platform that we are using today. And Brandwash, who made all of our beautiful videos. So join me in the chat to do a big round of a virtual applause for all of our sponsors for making today possible. Today, we will begin our journey at the SheEO Summit with our first track, venture.world. We'll get to learn from and get to action on the world's to-do list with SheEO Ventures. Now, if you did not hear, we literally just announced 24 new Canadian SheEO Ventures. 24, look at them right there. Let us know in the chat how excited you are to see these 24 new ventures, 24 new Canadian SheEO Ventures. This year, we will be funding all of the ventures and the semi-finalists for the first time ever. Thanks to SheEO activators across Canada for helping make this happen. And we are excited to hear from and learn from some of the incredible entrepreneurs today. So before we kick off the program, let's get oriented on our event platform, Venue. So make sure that your Venue profile is up to date, okay? Have a photo, make sure that your name is there and your social media links, and you could take a nice little selfie so we could all see who you are and get to know you. And you could also connect your LinkedIn profile and all of your other social media platforms, so it makes it super easy to connect with new friends today. Do not be shy to explore the audience and connect with one another. Again, friends, this is the only way that we can feel like we are still in-person events. So utilize these features and connect with everybody. Now, we do have a chat box. I see some of you are already activating it, which is fantastic. Please use this chat space throughout the event. If you haven't already introduced yourself, please share in the chat where you are from, especially if you are here in Toronto. Now, we have emojis. Please, if you don't know how to use emojis, there's a nice little button there that's going to make it super easy for you to express how excited you are today, what you've enjoyed so far. So let us know with emojis how you're feeling about our speakers and our ventures today. And when you click on your emoji, it's going to fire across the screen. So if we could just test it out right now, click on an emoji. Let's see what your reaction is so that we could already get the energy buzzing in the space. Awesome. Now that we are settled, I would like to bring up to the stage the one and only Vicki Saunders, founder of SheEO. Please join me in welcoming Vicki.
Thanks, Jam. Welcome, everyone. We have people on this call from all over the world today, over 30 countries. And I'm coming to you from the unceded territory of many nations, including the Mississaugas of the Credit, the Anishinaabe, the Chippewa, the Haudenosaunee, and the Wendat peoples, and now home to many diverse First Nations, Inuit, and Métis people. As we are all the living hope of our ancestors, I'd like to ask everybody to take a deep breath and welcome in our grandmothers, our aunties, and two-spirited sisters, past, present, and future, to guide us today and always in our work to create a world that benefits all. Okay, feel the energy as the room fills up with even more people. Hi, Mom. Happy birthday, Molly. Today I'm wearing a custom designed, oh my gosh, Ililim cape. This is a company I met through the Indigenous Lift Collective, which one day you will see in all its glory as I walk across the stage somewhere in the world. Thank you to Sophia and Annalie and your mom for getting it here this morning at 9:46 a.m. And thank you to my husband for ironing it while I was on another panel. 1 year ago today, before the pandemic was announced, 750 women gathered in a room in Toronto for our global summit. We announced funding for 10 new ventures, and we'd already funded 53 ventures globally. In the past year, we've almost doubled the number of ventures we support in what was a very, very, very difficult year for women, completely due to the radical generosity of our community of activators and the determination and ingenuity of our ventures. Women rock in a crisis. In the 60s, studies were done to determine people's response under stress, and researchers found 3: fight, flight, or freeze. In 2000, Shelley Taylor, who's a researcher at UCLA, found that the studies had only been done on men. She ran the experiments again and found that there's another stress response that women exhibit. In times of stress, we tend and befriend. Our SheEO community has displayed caring, sleeves rolled up, heart-centered leadership this year, resulting in all of our ventures staying operational, pivoting as needed, and scaling their impact with the support of our activators. As of this morning, we have 107 ventures, and we're still feeling the tide turn globally as we enter a 0% interest world. As we witness governments around the world find billions and trillions of dollars to take care of people and shore up economies, we can now plainly see there is enough money to create whatever kind of world we want. And no one in our SheEO community wants to be part of the future that has been laid bare in front of us. It's very clear to everyone now, with the ravages of COVID, that we have an economic model that is bad for people. All of our scaled up funding models create more inequality. Those with capital saw it grow significantly this year. Those without got even farther behind. This is a choice we made a long time ago to focus on self-interest and hyper-individualism versus the collective. It is time to change course. Everyone in our SheEO community is committed to transforming the inequality we see around us, to decondition our hearts and minds, to decolonize our business models, to dig deep into racial and social justice work, to co-create the future together that benefits all. We have worked very closely this year with Indigenous entrepreneurs through the Lift Collective, building relationships week after week throughout COVID, and 4 of the Indigenous entrepreneurs that were gifted in last year were selected as ventures this year. It's astonishing what we can transform when we create the conditions for Indigenous women to thrive, as Lift has done alongside our SheEO community. We can co-create a very different future, one that surfaces more sustainable business practices in harmony with people and planet for the benefit of all. When you look at some of the 107 ventures that activators have funded and supported at SheEO, we see a new world emerging. We see Suzanne and Madeline and Tony and Nita eliminating waste through their ventures Isle, Abigo, and Dalchini. We see Sheena, Hannah, and Candace employing communities placed at the margins with Made with Local, Common Good, and Job Loads. We see Bee, Chenny, and Carolyn transitioning us from a sick care to a healthcare system with the Alinker, Got Care, and Sisu. Shazia, Connie, and Steph bringing renewable, clean energy solutions to markets that need it most with Eco Energy, Growing Greener Innovations, and Solstice. We see Nason, Marisol, and Winona building better cities through solutions for aging infrastructure and affordable housing with CANN Forecast, EcoFix, and Maker Studio. We have seen thousands of applications from women and women identifying Black, Indigenous, women of color, brilliant solutions for a better world that are scalable, capital efficient, and transformative. We continue to hear from traditional incubators and accelerators and traditional funding structures stuck in their bubbles that it's a pipeline issue. They can't find the women. That is total BS. We are out there. We are 51% of the population receiving 2% of the venture funding, and we aren't going to stand for this future for our daughters, nieces, and granddaughters. We are literally reaching into our pockets $1,000 at a time, one by one, to create a new world. And nothing will stop us from using our power and influence to transform the inequities we see around us every single day. Minister Ng, Mr. Prime Minister, welcome to SheEO.world. We are fierce, we are focused, and we are here to co-create the feminist recovery the world needs. Welcome.
Thank you so much. So great to see you, Vicki.
Hi.
So great to see you, Mary.
Hi. Hi there, Prime Minister. Hi, Vicki. It is terrific to see you. I remember the Prime Minister and I, just before getting on, was just reflecting on a year ago, and it's hard to believe that we were all together at SheEO World Global last year. And it was just then that we were celebrating those incredible ventures. And what a year it has been for you and the team. And I want to begin by saying a gigantic thank you. It has been so uncertain this last year. And you and all of the incredible women, the entrepreneurs, the team, you've dug deep and you have tended and befriended. And I want to thank you for that tending and befriending. And I'm looking forward to introducing the Prime Minister and hearing his reflections. But the thank you that I really want to share is how SheEO has included everyone. When I see your numbers, 75% of your women ventures are women, Black entrepreneurs, Indigenous entrepreneurs, entrepreneurs with disabilities, or I like to say abilities, LGBTQ2, two-spirit entrepreneurs, people with color. This is incredible. So a big thank you, and what a wonderful way. And I would like to say, look, we were there in that room with all that energy, and there is not an ounce less of energy this year. Happy International Women's Day. And with that, I give it to the Right Honorable Justin Trudeau, the Prime Minister of Canada, and someone who I get so fortunate to work with as my feminist boss.
Thank you, Mary. Happy International Women's Day. I can't think of a better way for us to gather together and celebrate it, because it's not just about saying the nice things. It's about getting stuff done, and that's what SheEO has been just incredible about. And Mary, your leadership on this file and the hard work you've done over this past year to make sure we were focused on small businesses, focused on women, focused on entrepreneurs through this difficult time has been outstanding, and is obviously continuing. But Vicki, what you guys have achieved through SheEO this year has been incredibly inspiring, because we're seeing the She Session, we're seeing the bad news, we're seeing the numbers that show how hard women have been hit by this She Session. The numbers that increase as soon as you're bringing in intersectionalities and layering on challenges. It is so true that this is highlighting that our system is broken. Although, when you recognize systemic inequalities and systemic discrimination, you actually realize that the system isn't necessarily broken. The system is working exactly the way it was built to work. It was just built the wrong way. And we need to actually change it, not fix it, change it. And in looking at all these things that have been highlighted through this past year, all the gaps shown to us, all the missing links. I mean, seeing suddenly a whole bunch of CEOs saying, boy, oh boy, I think this childcare thing is really important, because you got to get on that. About time they heard what so many have been saying for so long, that this is not a social issue, childcare. It is an economic issue. It is a growth potential that we need to harness. And these kinds of things, we've had to look for them a little harder to have them pop during these dark times of COVID and all the challenges, all the tragedies, all the loss. But the numbers that you have put up and the strength of your community, this community that you and so many extraordinary women have created, Vicki, is absolutely inspiring. And quite frankly, setting the tone and the path for the future. And the recognition that it's not just about women in general, but it's about empowering women who are most marginalized within our system, as making the biggest difference, as creating the furthest leaps forward, as doing the most to face and restore some of the fairness to our world and our universe. And I don't want to take too much time on this, because I'm really looking forward to digging in with Tira and Nason and the things that they've been doing. But I really want to say that on our side, we've been active as a government on trying to fix things. But having extraordinary partners like you are constantly inspiring us. The fact that Deputy Prime Minister and our first woman finance minister, Chrystia Freeland, and our associate finance minister, Mona Fortier, just announced the task force on women in the economy today. There's a lot we can and must do. But if we're going to get through this SHE session, if we're going to get past COVID, we have to do it in a way that sets us on a different and better path for the future. And the first and main part of that is making sure that women are not just full partners in this, but leading as they need to. I have long talked about fight, flight, or freeze. I love that we found a fourth, and that idea of befriending and tending is absolutely essential. And I think it showcases what we've always seen, what we talked about last year, which is that when men typically build entrepreneurships and create startups, it's focused on narrow success for them and their investors. When women start up entrepreneurship and start businesses, it's almost always impacting the greater good, the community, in such tangible ways that we would be fools not to massively flip around the access to capital challenge and start funding women entrepreneurs a lot more than we fund male entrepreneurs. We're on our way, and the work that you're doing at SheEO is making a huge difference in changing a new paradigm. So I can't wait to get into it. Je suis tellement content d'être ici aujourd'hui. Quelle façon de célébrer la Journée internationale des femmes. Je suis très excité pour la conversation qu'on va avoir. Thank you all.
Thanks, Prime Minister. And thank you, Mary, for the support across the entire ecosystem. One of the things we did notice this year that we hope will continue is really deep consultation. I mean, we were on those calls at 9:30 in the morning every day during the early days of COVID, sharing what we were seeing on the streets and influencing policy as we were going. It's very important that we keep doing that work to create the systems transformation that we need. So thank you both. And Mary, I'll turn it over to you to get the panelists up. Oh, you're on mute.
If you unmute, Mary. Wouldn't be 2021 if we didn't have these.
It wouldn't be every day if that didn't happen once. Thank you so very much. And we'll just sort of dive right in, because I'm so excited to introduce our entrepreneurs in both Tira and Nason. I think we're going to bring them up on the screen. How wonderful. Hello. It's so nice to see you in 2021. And I'm going to start with Tara. Now, Tara and I were just on another panel just before this. So you and I are seeing a lot of each other today. But it's terrific. And Prime Minister, I can't wait for you to hear both of these terrific experiences and both of them sharing. But we'll start with Tara. So for those, for those who are here at SheEO, you will know, but let me share with the Prime Minister. Tara Fraser, you are the CEO of an incredible airline company. Yes, an airline company, Iskwew Air, first female Indigenous CEO of an airline in Canada. And I know you're going to talk a lot about that, but I thought I would also talk about the Lift Collective, Lift Collective that you started. You're an incredible leader. And my own little experience here, you've done over 60 of them, Indigenous circles, regularly during this time. The way I would describe it is that you've created an environment to let women entrepreneurs, Indigenous entrepreneurs, all entrepreneurs, to chart their future in their own way. Their they're charting it in their own way, and you're giving them the terrific Lift Circle to do that. I remember how impactful it was for me to be there and to witness the warmth, the support, the honesty, the rawness of the honesty. But then once you get through the rawness of that honesty, it's like, okay, all right, women, how are we going to help each other, and how are we going to get through this, and then get into problem solving? So without much more, I'm going to have you, Tara, share with us your story as an incredible Indigenous entrepreneur and the way that you have been paving through COVID-19 and certainly into beyond.
Thank you. What an honor to be here. I'll start with the Lift Circle. And thank you for joining us. Thank you for being a part of it. The Lift Circle is an initiative of the Indigenous Lift Collective. And Vicki and I have been in conversation for many years about how do we co-create the conditions specifically for Indigenous women entrepreneurs to thrive. And on February 17th last year, we said, okay, let's just start bringing a circle together. We didn't have a name for it then, but February 17th last year, the Lift Circle began, and bringing together Indigenous women entrepreneurs to share sacred space and to support one another, but also, as you say, to really get stuff done, to uplift each other. Our mantra is love and lift. So that tend and befriend, it's just love and lift, and co-creating the conditions for Indigenous women to thrive. So since that February 17th date, Sunday, we hosted our 68th circle. Started with every Sunday, and then we had to add Wednesdays, and now we've created a learning series. And we have a business directory of 275 Indigenous women across the country. And I'll tell you something really interesting that happened November 2020. So just before Christmas, we started a Shop Indigenous Women's Market. Within 2 weeks, there were 30,000 members. And now there are 46,000 members and 650 plus Indigenous women entrepreneurs, vendors. And one, Michelle Young Crook, out of this, so many incredible things have happened from the Lift Circle. Now she's started Indigimal because we can see that people want to buy from Indigenous women, authentic Indigenous products. And oh my goodness, we are the Lift Circle. We are so thrilled and honored to have generous support, both from SheEO. This is like literally started from a circle. What we've been able to accomplish in a little over a year with very little resources is incredible. So thanks to SheEO, and a huge thanks to RBC, who came in with some support at a really critical time with the Lift Circle. And so what the Lift Circle needs is we have something called the Three Sisters Garden Fund, which is we are wanting to launch. It is funds that can support Indigenous women entrepreneurs with whatever they need. A great example of that is an Indigenous women entrepreneur. She had a big fashion show and very limited resources. And 3 days before, her sewing machine broke. And we just sent her the funds to get herself a sewing machine. Whatever it takes, this Three Sisters Garden Fund is meant to support these women with just whatever it is they need, with the soils, the seed, the sunshine, the water, the tooling up. And we'd love to see some increased support in that. Whew, that's about the Lift Circle. And I don't know how much time I have. I probably have to hurry along. So I'll just say just a couple quick things about Iskwew Air. We have 2 exciting announcements. March 11th at 10 a.m. Pacific time. And a link will come in, and we are launching the aircraft maintenance organization, as well as making an announcement about our intentions in the advanced air mobility space. The aviation industry right now, we have a whole opportunity to reimagine, rematriate, and rebuild the air transportation sector, centering on equity and sustainability. And that's what Iskwew Air is here to do. Thank you.
Well, how terrific. Thank you so very much, Tiara, for that terrific sharing of the Lift Circle and the Lift Collective. Now I get to introduce Naysan Saran. Naysan, so wonderful to see you. And, you are another incredible entrepreneur and leader. You're the CEO and co-founder of this terrific innovative company, CANN Forecast. And I think I'm not going to say a whole lot about you, because you're going to talk a whole lot about your company and tell us your role. And what's so exciting about it is helping municipalities have clean drinking water. I think we've always said the environment and the economy go hand in hand. You are the perfect example of the economy and the environment going hand in hand. Oh, Naysan, over to you.
Thank you so much. This is such an honor to be here, really. The story of how we got to CANN Forecast and how SheEO got to help us was my background. I was working as a scientific programmer at Environment Canada, and in 2016, we got the chance to participate in this wonderful hackathon called Aqua Hacking. And the goal was to develop the best solution with relation to water. And then me and my soon-to-be co-founder, actually, we met there. And he had an idea of creating a solution that would help municipalities predict water quality. So long story short, we developed a machine learning solution that was working better for public health than what the city was using. And so they saw our solution at the finale of the competition, and they actually gave us our first contract. That's how CANN Forecast was born. And out of this, because they saw that we were two young people with a lot of energy and the quality of our work was good as well, they introduced us to the drinking water department of the city of Montreal. So we do owe a lot to the city of Montreal. And last year, we're actually in research and development with 9 municipalities in Canada, and we got the chance and really the honor to be selected as a SheEO venture. And long story short, now we're in 15 municipalities across 4 provinces in Canada. We're commercialization phase. And this is a lot thanks to SheEO, thanks to the mentorship that we had. Me personally, I was really lucky to have MJ as my mentor, and she taught me a lot in terms of how to stay focused and not transfer my stress to the team and make sure that the team gets whatever they need to thrive. So I'm really, really grateful for the opportunity to be here.
Naysan, that's terrific. I'm going to give it over to the Prime Minister. Prime Minister, I know you've got reflections on both of these extraordinary entrepreneurs.
Oh my God. I mean, first, Tiara, just what you've been able to demonstrate and develop and build as having an impact in such a tangible way. Having this airline success, Iskwew Air is an inspiration. We know how difficult a business it is, difficult an industry it is, particularly over this past year. But your business model and the way you engage in it and the way you built it demonstrated that it was focused on need, focused on community, focused on bringing people together, and has therefore thrived and naturally branched into your leadership within the circle. It is so inspiring to see you do this, to see you succeed, and mostly to see you carry and embody the hopes and dreams of so many young Indigenous women around the country and around the world, but all women indeed. I mean, it is something that, as I think about the kind of future my daughter's going to grow up into and the kind of world we're all going to leave behind one day, the mark that you have made in communities that needed to see you and be inspired by you, and all of us. thank you, Tira, for everything you do and more, everything you're going to continue to do. It is so important, obviously, for all of us here on this call, but it's so important to Canada that you continue to lead the way you are. It is, don't get me going, because you're getting me going now here too, but it is just such a privilege for me to be able to spend a moment with you here. And say, keep it up, God, keep it up. Thank you. I lift you up. Et Nessan, quel plaisir de te rencontrer, quel plaisir de te voir et d'entendre ton histoire. Et pour moi, it so embodies as well sort of the accidental path that so many women entrepreneurs take, where it's sort of this, oh, you've got a really good idea. Here's some contracts. Here's some money. Really? Do you think I should be good enough? Do you think I should do this? What? Do you think there's something here? That mentorship and that encouragement that SheEO and the community that is building here is all about, it taking people say, yes, you can do this. You can lead. You can take your science mind and both heal the world and help and build a successful business that creates opportunity and employment and does good at the same time. Your two stories today are what SheEO and, quite frankly, what the future of the country needs to build on and to do more of. And the fact that, yes, through this pandemic, we are surrounded by terrible tragedy and loss and closure and difficulty and sacrifice. The fact that we can also find and celebrate stories of resilience, of success, of partnership, of befriending and tending. I'm not going to let that one go. It is just so wonderful, and it is the path we all need to walk together. And I remain so deeply inspired by everything you are doing. I think the conversation we all had last year, Vicki, gave me strength without me really realizing it that I would need to make it through this year until now. And I can tell you the stories I've heard about the SheCovery and the work that we're going to do together to build this better world, and the privilege I feel at being able to be an ally to everything that you are doing. I'm excited about the future and can't wait to build it alongside and following along so many of you. Merci beaucoup, mes chers amis.
Merci. Merci à vous.
Thank you. That is so wonderful. Like I say this every year, I wish we could stay for the entire program of SheEO, but alas, with this, I will thank everyone, and I'm going to pass it back to you, Vicki.
Thank you, Minister, and thank you, Prime Minister and Nessan and Tira for being here. And we're going to be doing lots of trade commissions this year. So let's get this going now that it's not easy to do. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I'm going to pass it back to Jam and on to the agenda. 1 minute. Photo.
Oh, you wanted a picture.
Please. Everybody out there, do a screenshot. Three, 2, 1. All right, thanks. Okay, Jam, over to you, hon.
Y'all, I was talking to the Prime Minister in the chat. He said, Jam. Okay, I'm back. Thank you, Vicki. Prime Minister Trudeau, Minister Meining, Nessan, and Tira for that panel, for that open discussion. I was backstage just in awe of everything that was being shared. So can we just give them a collective thank you in the chats? Click on the emoji. Let us continue to keep that energy flowing. So now we are going to move into the breakout sessions.